breaking news.
Taking you now to San Jose, where police are giving an update on that mother who was arrested and suspected of killing her 7-year-old son.
To the father of Liam, right? As parents, none of us ever want to go through something like this, so our hearts go out to the father of Liam, the victim in this case. With that, I'm going to share briefly some of the information that we had prior to this incident. On June 1st, the victim's father called in a report that mom and Liam, he hadn't heard from them, he hadn't seen them. At that time, he was not sure if he wanted to pursue any type of, child stealing, parental abduction charges on mom. However, he did feel that it was important enough for him to contact the police and let them know. We did take a report, and that happened on June 1st. Fast forward a couple days to Friday, June 4th, a friend of the family comes here to the police department and makes us aware of this sketch in Las Vegas. She thinks that sketch looks like Liam. Immediately, we connect that information with the information we had from June 1st and contacted Las Vegas Metro. That got the ball rolling. One of their detectives came here to San Jose, retrieved an item with some DNA, and they were able to make the match with Liam in Las Vegas. Now, I want to emphasize that when Dad called us on June 1st, Liam's body had already been discovered on May 28th. So obviously a lot to share that will come from Las Vegas on this whole investigation in this case. Again, a very, very tragic event. As soon as we were alerted that this might be him, we had no knowledge on June 1st about this body and Liam being found in Las Vegas. It wasn't until June 4th that this person came in with a sketch from Las Vegas that we immediately started to get the ball rolling and reached out to those authorities there in Las Vegas. So with that, any questions?
When the father called in about his son being missing, did he mention that the child was special needs, or that the mother, they said that the mother had packed up the car with a lot of belongings? Was the mother moving or leaving? Did anything of that nature?
I don't have any information on what was specifically said, nor I think I can share. It's, a police report now that's associated to this homicide. I just know that he reported them as gone, missing, hadn't talked to them. Was still not even sure at that point that he wanted to pursue any type of charges against mom for a parental abduction, etc. So, we took the report. He felt it was important enough to come and report it and have us document it. However, he was not sure what charges he wanted to pursue, if any.
Did he say when the last time was he had seen the child?
I don't have that information.
Do we know if there was any report of domestic violence prior to the incident involving the mother and her kids?
We don't have any police contacts with them in regards to family issues, anything like that at all. So it's, we don't know, and I'm sure Las Vegas Metro is digging their heels in deep to figure out what happened here.
Talk again about why he did not want to file any charges or make anything more formalized, and maybe just explain a little bit more about the process that he asked for, or if he was just simply alerting you.
I think he was just simply letting us know. I mean, these types of cases, they're not out of the norm where one parent, comes in and reports, the other parent took my kid without my permission, they're out of state. Yeah, we'll certainly take a child stealing parental abduction report, but, very just unusual circumstances with this. He felt it was important enough to contact us and report it. He just wasn't sure what he wanted done.
Did it go down as a child stealing report?
I don't know what it was officially titled. I mean, it was taken on Tuesday, and a couple days after that on Friday is when we got the other information. So that immediately classified it into something else, where we reached out to Las Vegas.
Sergeant, did the father say anything to indicate that he was worried about the child's safety, or anything to suggest that foul play?
I didn't talk to him. I didn't. So I don't know what his exact words were, but concerned enough to contact the police, right? If he wasn't worried or anything, he probably would have never talked to us and waited for them to show up. But it obviously was concerned him enough to contact the police.
Do you know what their arrangement was in terms of custody of Liam?
I don't know. I think they both share that common address in South San Jose, but I don't know what type of, domestic arrangement or partnership they had.
Did the father mention anything about not wanting to get the mother in trouble?
Well, I would imagine that's why he was kind of wavering whether or not to pursue any type of criminal charge against mom. So that's why he didn't formally request, hey, I want her arrested or I want charges for, child stealing or parental abduction.
Do we know why the mother went to Las Vegas?
She was apparently, all over the neighboring states here, and that's something that Las Vegas is investigating and handling, and we'll probably be able to share later.
Did they have joint custody of the child?
Yeah, I don't know what that arrangement was.
What is going to be the San Jose Police participation in the investigation?
Oh, we're going to help them with whatever we can. As soon as we were alerted to the fact that this deceased boy they found in Vegas might be somebody connected to San Jose, we immediately reached out to them, provided any and all possible aid we could. We made arrangements for them to get, an article that had some DNA that they were able to match. And we're going to continue to work with them and assist them in any way we can.
Did San Jose Police go with Las Vegas officers to the home to collect the items? And if so, what are the items that were collected?
I don't think I can discuss that, nor do I know the details on how and when that happened. I do know that an item was provided to them with DNA that they were able to match.
Does the entire family live at the South San Jose address?
I don't know.
Do you have anything on motive?
Again, that's a question for Las Vegas Metro.
Can you tell us anything? Did this boy attend a local school?
I don't have that information either. 8 years old, COVID. I don't know what his situation with schooling was. Anything else?
So he didn't request a formal missing persons?
It wasn't even a missing persons. It was, hey, I haven't seen them. This is, mom. This is my son. I don't know where they're at. I want to report it. So we will ask, well, do you want, is this a child stealing thing? Do you have custody paperwork? Like I said, that's not an out of the ordinary call for us to take. Family disputes, etc. One person takes a child out of the county, out of the state without permission. It's a lot of family court stuff. So I think at that time, probably was not sure what he wanted to do, but was concerned enough to report it.
And you're saying
Again, did he mention how long it had been since he'd seen the son? Since he was concerned, how long had it been since he made contact?
I don't have that information, how long it had been since he'd seen them or talked to them before he contacted us on June 1st. Obviously, they discovered Liam on the 28th, so it had to have been some time before then.
And you're saying that they all live together, so...
I do know they have that address in common. Whether or not they live there, I don't know.
Is there any video surveillance of the home, for example? Because I know the last time that the mother and the kid were seen together was May 24th.
Yeah, that's subject to, that's Las Vegas is handling all that. We don't want to share any information that's going to affect their investigation. All I wanted to share was what we knew prior, to this stuff coming out. Good?
Can you give me just probably 10 seconds?
Sí, ahorita en español.
Un poquito nomás.
¿De una vez ahorita?
Un poquito, 10 seconds is funny.
Okay.
We're live.
Ok, ahorita estamos compartiendo noticias de la información que tuvimos cuando desapareció.
San Jose police giving more information on the San Jose mother charged with murdering her 7-year-old son. The police officer there began with condolences to the father of Liam, the 7-year-old boy who was murdered. June 1st, Liam's father called in to San Jose police with a report that he hadn't heard from his child or his child's mother, Samantha Rodriguez. That's the photo you're looking at right now. He didn't want to pursue any charges at the time, but he did want to let police know that he hadn't seen or heard from his child or child's mother, and they took a report that he hadn't heard from them. Then just a few days later, Friday, June 4th, a friend came to the police department with a sketch that she had seen from the Las Vegas Police Department of the sketch of a boy that she thought was Liam, that the Vegas Police Department had discovered back on May 28th. San Jose police then made contact with Vegas police. That's how officials were able to make the match that it was in fact Liam who had been found in Las Vegas. San Jose police were able to provide items of Liam's that allowed them to make the DNA match on his body. Now, when the father called on June 1st, Liam's body had already been discovered back on May 28th, so it had been several days before his father even came to the police department to say, hey, I haven't heard from my child or my child's mother. More will come from Vegas Police Department. They're going to be holding a press conference at 2 p.m. I do believe San Jose Police might be giving a little bit more information right now. Let's listen back in.
Abduction or child stealing, that's handled through family court. And potentially, you know, depending on how severe the case is, it might go over to the district attorney for criminal charges as well. But if one parent calls and says, hey, I know that my son, daughter is with the other parent and they went to, you know, X location on vacation and didn't notify them, well, they're not missing, they're just in a place without permission of the other parent. This one was a little different because he hadn't seen them, he hadn't talked to them, he had no idea of their whereabouts. Obviously, he still was probably wavering on, you know, what he wanted to do, but felt concerned enough to notify us.
So in that case, though, since he's wavering on what he wants to do, does that mean that San Jose Police wouldn't treat it as a missing persons report because of that?
Yeah, it would depend. I mean, he's always, you know, free to call us back 1-2 days later, hours, and say, you know, I have this custody paperwork. I want to do, you know, child stealing, parental abduction. Then yeah, then we'll elevate it. But I think because of the wavering, it wasn't, you know, actively investigated at that time on June 1st. Like I said, at June 1st, we had no idea of what had transpired in Las Vegas. None. It wasn't until Friday when, you know, kind of started, well, this sounds a lot like this child and mother. And, you know, we immediately got in contact with them. They flew out, and here we are. Okay, good?
Thank you.
Okay.
Again, just collecting a little bit more information from San Jose Police this afternoon on the death of a 7-year-old San Jose boy, Liam. His mother has been arrested. Her name was Samantha Rodriguez. Again, the little boy's body was found in Las Vegas.